15 years. How do they decide that so fast?
Guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
A resounding success for prosecutors on many fronts. Of course, convictions, many legal scholars and many legal analysts would say, is a novel theory by the prosecution in terms of this involuntary manslaughter case. I have with me Bob Hilla, who is a trial attorney, former president of the New Jersey State Bar Association, excellent resource. Bob, and I appreciate, all of your commentary, but, really from the standpoint of the prosecution, this is about as good as it gets. I mean, you got a jury that took their time and came back. They asked questions.
15 years per charge at April 9 something.
They didn't rush to judgment. You've got four guilty findings on all of it. On a legal theory that I'd say is either infrequently, if ever, used before. So clearly they thought it was the right thing to do, and they succeeded. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you say novel theory, I mean, the law itself has been around for a long time. It just hasn't been applied to circumstances like this before. But again, the facts here...
That's Jennifer Crumbly.
In a lot of the parent-child shooting cases, I don't know that those facts exist. So that would support the prosecution bringing a case. So again... and I think the jurors were aware of the situation here, the novelty of the circumstances, and they took their time.
What does that mean, April 9th sentence date?
The court was careful with it. Counsel were careful with it. So, hopefully for the family's sake, there's not going to be a retrial on this matter.
Right. Well, obviously the next step from this standpoint, and reasonable minds get different, just so our audience knows if you're joining us, I do have problems with the facts of this particular case. Because, again, it's not about whether they should have known or whether they may have known or whether they were negligent. The law is it's almost got to be a conscious disregard, almost like it was so foreseeable, it was so likely. And I just don't think that those facts were there. We know in the end that's what happened.
It says... charge as of April 9. So did she get to go home and be freely nilly and sell the house and her horses and everything until April and then go back to jail April 9? Is that what that means? Help me understand.
But the question is what they knew at the time. So, again, reasonable minds could differ with that. But, Bob, the next phase right now is, you could see the shock on the defense lawyer, literally, went back, and you could see the shock on the defendant's face. Now they're talking appeals. So what are you telling your client in a circumstance like this? Because appeal's not another shot at a trial.
No.
You got to have a basis and a reason to appeal. Will it be on the legal theory itself?
Well, I mean, ultimately, you're going to, and again, as a shock maybe as opposed to disappointment, shock maybe or just being upset by a defendant's standpoint, but for the lawyer, probably disappointment because they felt they had, a good defense that they put out there. But you're going to have to sit down with your client. You're going to have to say, look, we're going to have to scour the transcripts of the trial. We're going to have to look at the pretrial rulings. We're going to have
she
to
never
look at
combs her hair.
What evidence was kept out. We got to look at how that evidence was testified to. We got to look at whether the judge made correct ruling on objections or tainted the case by that. And if the jury charges were...
Look, see that big old huge mat? She never combs her hair, and I'm surprised the judge didn't tell her something, because the judges have the right to do that. I didn't know that until 2009. Anyway, okay, sentence start date is April 9. She's been in jail all this time. She says she only gets out 1 hour a day. Yeah, you guys help me figure that out, please. Yeah.
Were given properly, and the court addressed those properly with the jury. It doesn't seem like there is any indication of the jury misconduct.
I said that about her hair because I'm like, you're a lawyer. You get paid millions of dollars a year, and looking good 99% of the time is part of your... I don't want to say job, but I mean, she doesn't wear makeup, so that's... But I mean, combing your hair? You're not in jail. You get to go home every day. Comb your hair. Look presentable for court. I know a lot of us humans don't know that we're supposed to dress properly for court. You're supposed to address the judge and the lawyers and the bailiffs and stuff properly for court. And she dresses... Okay. for court. But I'm like, geez, really? On any of these, this is what, the 10th day now. Never combed her hair. And okay, I'll get over it. Let me leave her alone. Because I never comb my hair. But nobody inside my house sees me. When I was a receptionist, executive secretary for 42 years, 45 years, something like that, I comb my hair. Even if I put on a wig, I comb my hair. Okay, let me stop.
In this case, I mean, although there were some people, I guess, earlier on in the case.
Yeah, I agree. But you know what, Bob? I tell you what, we're going to take a quick break here. But on the other end, we got to remember that other than us, as true crime aficionados here at the Long Crime Network and our audience, there's someone else that's really looking at this verdict. The husband.
Yep.
We'll talk about that on the other end.
It's his turn next. I often wonder in these cases, will he have the same judge? I know he's not going to have the same lawyer. Well, I shouldn't say that. I would assume he won't have her lawyer. I don't. Okay, that's a lie. I have met quite a few lawyers, especially when we had our own real estate business and we were incorporated. I was, taking classes and whatnot with lawyers all the time in order to run a board and care home, the daycare, and the other two businesses Mama owned. But wow, this defendant attorney lady is different. It was really interesting to see. Sometimes she played like she's the judge, and then the other time, oh, Judge, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Yeah. And I'm like, is this an act? Is she new? I don't know. I just never seen a judge look and act like that. I mean, a lawyer. And I'm not trying to be critical of anyone other than myself to look better, do better, be better. But damn, comb your hair, lady. You know somebody's going to get on that and they're going to make a meme out of that much of her head where it's all mumble jumble and matted. Yeah, you just know the memes are coming. Okay, let me start. God's going to kick my ass. 15 years per life. 60 years, if I did my math correctly. Wow. That is something. But let me ask you guys. Let me ask you for real, okay? Not trying to be too judgmental. I'm human. I'm sure I'm being a little bit judgmental right now. If you had a 15-year-old, now mind you, the dad was used to firing his guns and whatnot, but having a 15-year-old, would you go buy them a 9mm gun? You already knew he was sad, lonely, depressed, especially after his best friend, himself, he already asked for help. And they pretty much, he said, I saw, things moving in the kitchen. Oh, son. Here, take a Xanax. You'll be all right. A Xanax. And then she goes on and on and on. Oh, I should have only given him half. Send him to therapy. And then they found out in court, in his journal, she never looked through his phone. She never looked through his book bag. Are you kidding me? If my kid, even for my own, well, I shouldn't. There's no way my kid's leaving this house and I don't know what's in his backpack, what he has on, and what he's doing. If I were to get my kid a cell phone, it would be to contact me or 911 only. No internet, no all that games and stuff for perverts to go into and say, oh, hi Tasha, I'm new to this town. Can we meet at the malt shop and talk? And it's a 55-year-old man. And no. And I'm not my child's friend. I'm the parent. I'm the one that says no because blah, 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 blah. Okay, so Tag, would you get your 15-year-old a 9mm gun? If you're not the type that have to live out in the wilderness